Today in history, in 1932, American aviator Amelia Earhart became the first woman to pilot an airplane solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Queen. Welcome to What the Fuck History, where we discuss the wackiest and weirdest things that make us say, well, what the fuck history. I am your host, Zachary, and I'm ready for more rootin', more tootin', and a whole lot more shootin'.
My name is Meghan, and I was the president of a wedding ceremony. That has nothing to do with what I'm going to say. I was just proud of it.
As you should be.
And I'm Matt. Today I learned about something called an assassin spider, which instead of having the usual pincer business that other spiders have, has two spear-like protrusions on its face. It hunts other spiders, and I fucking hate that I know about it.
I hate that I know about
That's
it
really
now, too.
scary.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, I don't.
It only
like
lives in New Zealand, luckily.
Thank fuck. No, Megan,
Okay.
Megan, two things. One. I think it was so fucking funny, the juxtaposition of my oddity going into this episode with you straight-faced, I'm Megan. Like, that threw me for a loop.
I'm Meghan.
And two, I saw pictures from this wedding that you were president of. And
I was president of a
I
wedding.
saw that you were tagged in some pictures, and my favorite picture is the one picture I saw of you where this man is looking at his Apple Watch during the ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
And the look of disgust on your face that he would dare tear his eyes away from something so beautiful is amazing.
You know,
Like,
I look at pictures of weddings and I think to myself, that could have been me.
I mean,
it could have been you. I could have been the president of your ceremony.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean-
think I'm going to have a president of ceremonies. I'm just going to ask people to show up. And by the time that they figure out what's happening, we will have already been married.
personally, I'm eloping,
okay.
but
Well.
Megan, know that you are the secret president of my wedding.
Thank you.
Back when
I'm not gonna lie.
Back when my ex and I were planning a wedding, I had said that I was going to have Meghan be my best man.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I had not
Nice.
approached her about that proposal because my engagement dissolved faster
Before
than
then.
cotton candy in water.
In rain.
Okay, that's actually not true. Your engagement lasted like 9
It was
years.
3 years. The relationship itself was 9.
Jeez.
Okay, well, it felt a long time.
It was a long time. We were engaged for a long time. And in that time, we grew to hate each other.
And in that time, our hearts did not grow fonder.
Yeah. There was no absence to make the hearts grow fonder. Because
There was no
a pandemic.
absence.
Oh.
We were stuck.
Oh yeah, 2020, the year of the divorce.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, you guys ready for my story?
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
hold on.
Listen up, kiddos. The strikes have been reset to 0. Your podcast mom and both your podcast dads have played a game of rocky, papered scissors. And the order for tonight is Meghan, followed by me, followed by Zach. I have one
Nice.
job on this ship.
You're doing a great job at that job, my friend. I love
was
that your
I
job
was ready
is that.
to be like,
Oh, that, like,
Anyway.
we've forgotten it so many times. And
We're
I just
in
have to
a
be like,
rhythm.
Wait, I do a part.
yeah, I know. I'm like ready to go, and you're just like, anyway. I know that the first person has already started talking, but here's the order.
It's exactly, yeah.
So
it's exactly
my
like that.
story actually, in a weird way, and I wish I had more time to explain this, but in a weird way, it does have to do with the wedding that I was president
You're about
of.
to have 30 straight minutes.
I'm about to have 30
Or
straight
20
minutes.
straight minutes, rather.
20 straight minutes. Yeah, if you guys don't want to undo your story, I could just do this, but it's up to you. But anyway, so my story is called "The Time Golf Was Outlawed."
Okay.
And yeah, so for some reason I've really been talking about golf a lot recently, or like more precisely, people around me have been talking about golf a lot because the wedding that I went to was like a lot of rich people, and they're feral for it. Like there were two things that they loved, and they were like, we love golf and we love sailing.
Oh my god,
the
most
golf.
rich people activities ever.
Yeah, like it was so funny because like when the bride's family, who's the rich family, like got up and they were like giving speeches, they were referring to my friend. They're like, yeah, you know, he's always good for like a silly board game, but he's learned real things like golf and sailing. And we were like losing our minds for like, those are just games for rich people. Like,
Is he taking up cricket next?
One of the board members
that's what
at
I'm
my
saying, curling.
organization once, he mentioned something about golf. And he looks at me and he's like, are you any good at golf? And I was like, no, not really. And he goes, good, stay out of it. It's an expensive sport. And I was just like, first of all, it's not even a sport. I mean, like, don't get me wrong.
Feels
People
like
who
it's
golf
not.
are
Great athletes.
Yes. They're athletic.
In like the loosest sense of the world.
But
word.
like any sport that I can watch and fall asleep at the same time, I don't consider
A sport.
worthy of ESPN necessarily.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm saying. But
yeah. I feel the same way about
Yeah,
baseball, though, so, like, what the fuck can I
No.
say?
yeah,
I'm right there with you.
God. Baseball's so boring. But yeah, so I was like, and as, you know, my friend has sort of been like dating this girl and like, you know, they got engaged. He's been golfing like a lot.
But has
Like
he been sailing?
more than
Is he still your friend?
he has, but he has been sailing as well. He's learned how to sail. He's like, he's learning things that the average Joe just doesn't have access to. So it just like it got me thinking about golf, and I'm like, how the fuck did this even come about? Like how did the sport that's not really sport, like where did it come from? And the answer is Scotland. Which kind of makes sense because they also made up curling. So maybe the Scots just love knocking rocks around in the face of a harsh, inhospitable landscape.
Are you about to fucking tell us the history of golf?
Yeah, like kind of.
Yeah!
Yeah,
Wasn't
so
sure
it
about
sounds
that.
like
The
Zach.
history of golf fucking rules.
The history of golf's kind of weird. So you know, Zach clearly already knows, but golf, and he can add stuff in. But golf originated on the eastern coast of Scotland, an area that was close to Edinburgh. And back in the day, players would attempt to hit a pebble over sand dunes and around tracks using a bent stick or club, which I guess when the alternative is like go for a walk, farm, or lounge about the castle seems like a really cool thing. But the internet wasn't invented yet, is what I'm saying. So no one could play Smash Bros. However, everything changed in the 15th century when Scotland was called to arms to defend itself against England once again. Yet the Scottish soldiers were like, war is boring, golf is life. And this led to many soldiers neglecting their military training to get out on the green or the sand dunes. The beige.
The beige.
Anyway, the beige. So King James II took the only logical action. He banned it in 1457. He's like, no more golf. No more golf, only war. And the Scottish people, being the strict military force that they are, they didn't listen. And they were like, haha, that's a super funny thing that James is doing. And then they landed themselves a birdie. I don't know when the holes made it into the game, or like the weird bird-centric scoring system.
Yeah.
I assume that was later. So, in 1502, the game gained the royal seal of approval when King James IV, yet another James, became the world's first golfing monarch, and he paved the way for all the other rich assholes to follow in his stead. He was a real trailblazer.
Guess
and
so.
The popularity, he wasn't a trailblazer in namesake, because he was the fourth, but in everything else, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. So the popularity of the game was like wildfire, and it spread throughout, 16th century Europe thanks to this golfing royal, and King Charles I brought the game to England. I mean, he really didn't have to go that far, because they're connected. They're connected by the same landmass, so he walked over a made-up border and said, "Thank you for the golf, yum, yum, yum," and then brought it back. And then Mary, Queen of Scots, introduced the game to France when she studied there. Oh, fun fact, I learned where the word caddy comes from.
Oh.
So it refers to the name of her French military aides, which were known as cadets, and it was shortened to caddies.
The term birdie and eagle were added to the game in 1899.
Oh, way later.
Yeah. Okay.
Way later.
Way later. Yeah. They were too busy. They were like, Angus, hit this rock, and let's see how far it can go. We don't know what that's called.
I think it started in a magazine. Somebody got, he said that his ball came to rest within 6 inches of the cup. He said it was a bird of a shot. I suggest that when one of us plays a hole in under par, he receives double compensation. The other two agreed. We called it birdie. And then in the 19th century, the word bird meant anything excellent or wonderful. And then the term eagle got added because it was better than a bird.
Oh, okay. What about albatross?
I can only assume that that's better than a bird by wingspan
That's right.
alone.
I got a fucking albatross of a shot.
Albatross.
An albatross of a shot.
I forgot that albatross was a fucking thing.
It is. It's a thing in golf. And the only reason I know that is because someone like a patron came up to me and was like, "Can you tell me golf words?" And I was just like,
Sure,
Say
man.
golf words to me.
okay. Say golf words to me. And I was just like, eagle,
That's right, baby. Talk golf to me.
par. Talk golf to me. And it's just like, oh man, you came in below par. And that's sexy. Hole in one. Goal.
Goal.
So,
Touchdown.
goal. Touchdown.
Field goal.
Okay. Where was I? Okay, so with Mary, Queen of Scots, I would like to point out that she brought it to France, but if you think about it, golf's not really an easy thing to like just bring somewhere. It's like not.
Yeah.
It's not like cornhole.
There's a lot more
Where,
setup.
like,
You kind of need a lot of land.
And you got all these specialized sticks.
Yeah. And so when I read that, I was like, oh, she brought it to France. I was just like, okay, so like she was just like, guys, I have a great idea. Do you have like a very manicured lawn? And do you have sticks, special sticks? And we need special small balls. I want the lawn to be at least an acre long, like minimum.
Minimum.
Minimum, I need like an acre of space. But anyway, so one of the best golf courses at the time was at, I think this is called Leith, it's in Scotland. So this course hosted the first international golf match in 1682, where the Duke of York, who was representing Scotland, beat two English nobles, which sounds like a bunch of English guys played golf in Scotland and called it an international match, but maybe that's racist. So the first golf club was formed in 1744 and set up an annual competition, and they really hammered out the rules of the game, but as we just found out, they didn't hammer out the lingo of the game. That would be for golf aficionados later.
Yeah.
The first ever 18-hole course was constructed at St. Andrews in 1764, and they established the standard for the game of having 18 holes. So this is where I need to bring in my friend again, because when he went to this wedding in Scotland last summer, one of the bride's cousins, he was like, I'm gonna go play the old course at St. Andrews, like the premier first ever golf course of the world. But what you have to do is you have to get in line the night before and like wait. So he got in line at, yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. And when he told me this, I was losing my mind. So this guy got into line at 10 p.m. And at 5 a.m. the next day, he was given a number, because if you aren't part of the club, like the golf club of St. Andrews, then it's a lottery on if you get to play the course. And only so many people can play the course at once, with preference given to the members. So even the people who are like waiting in line, you're like waiting in line for a chance to get called.
That's fucking crazy.
Could you imagine waiting out from the night before and you don't get called?
Well, that's the thing. I was like, what if you don't get called? And my friend was like, I don't know, you eat shit and die, I guess. And I was like,
you've spent all night standing out in a field.
I spent all night standing out in a field, eat shit and die, I guess.
Marveling at the stars.
He did get called. He got his number, and they were just like, okay, your tee-off time is at 3 p.m. And so this guy had just been up, like, for 48 hours by the time he finished the course, which I was like, did he even, like, remember it? Like, was it a good time? And he's like, yeah. Like, how do you enjoy it? Like, I would be running off of fumes. I'd be like, honestly, I'm going to throw myself into the North Sea. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah. So, rich people should be shot is the moral of that story.
Yeah.
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich. So anyway, during this time, golfers were using handcrafted wooden clubs, and the balls were made from compressed feathers wrapped in stitched horse hide, because we hate the horses.
Hate them.
Which is, we hate them. And I just think that this is way more complicated than using pebbles. And when the British Empire started expanding rapidly in the 19th century, golf inexplicably followed them. The first golf club that was formed outside of Scotland was near London, obviously, in 1766, then in India in 1820, and it was followed by, like, New York, Hong Kong, and Cape Town. And it also wasn't until the Victorian era that trains could bring people to the countryside pretty quickly, and countryside golf clubs started popping up everywhere.
Okay.
Also, yeah, so trains, once again, winning out.
Trains are the best.
Maybe that's why the rich people hate them. And also, clubs and balls were easier to make, which allowed the average person, heavy quotes on average person, to participate. And the rest is sort of history. Like, golf is still around, it's a huge industry, and it's still expensive. And I could not figure out when the little hats came into play. So
Do you want
When
me
the
to look
little
that up, too?
hats came into play?
yeah, because they have they have golf hats.
Little golf hats.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
get you. I was like, what?
They wear golf hats.
Little baby golf hats.
This is not the Mandela effect.
No,
I know that
I know
they
they
wear
have
golf
a little
hats.
do.
pom-pom on the top. Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I was like, no, don't.
No.
I know
I
that the
know.
golf hats exist. But yeah, it just like had to do specifically with the people I was around this weekend. Like, they all fucking loved golf, and I was just like, oh,
I don't get it.
I don't know.
I should know why
I don't
golf
get it.
exists.
Yeah, like, why does this sport exist? Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's just like it's rich people wanting to take a walk with their friends, but not being gay
but not
about
being
it.
gay about it.
And they should just be fucking gay about it.
Yeah,
They should just be gay
that's
about
what I'm
it.
saying.
They also,
gay
it's a
about
good
it. You don't have to
excuse to
hide
day
it.
drink, too.
See, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
I love that. Just fucking disc golf.
Just day
it's
drink.
way cooler.
What?
If you just day drink,
Day
I want to
drinking-
day drink during mini golf.
Oh, yeah, okay, but here's the thing.
yeah.
Disc golf, day drinking is way cooler than...
Okay, but disc golf didn't exist back in the day.
I know. But what I'm saying is nowadays, like, disc golfing is just an excuse to day drink, and it's great.
that's true.
Because it's instead of just being a walk with day drinking, it's a walk in the woods with day drinking, which is way fucking cool.
I know. That's actually true, though. He's right. He has a point.
Like, I want to see some
man's
trees
making
and shit.
shit.
I'm sick of grass.
I love
I want
disc
trees
golfing.
and shit.
I know, and I want to lose my disc in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have disc golf near you?
Me? Oh, I'm an hour away from one of, I believe, the #1 rated disc golf course in the world.
Stop it.
It's apparently gorgeous.
No, you're not. Where is it?
It is. I gotta remember the name of it. #1 disc golf course in the world. Oh, it's now #4, but Maple Hill is in Leicester, Mass.
Oh,
Yep, the #1's in Norway.
interesting. I didn't know that. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Norway, Finland, Sweden, and then Massachusetts.
There you go. To be fair,
Okay.
those are very walkable.
Yeah,
Lots of, I mean,
Maple Hill
I
is
could
yeah,
walk
it's,
to Finland.
Maple Hill's it's like an hour away from
Yes.
You could walk there too.
Have you been?
me. Yeah, you can walk anywhere if you want.
you
if
been
try
to it?
hard
You
enough.
could. You just have to keep moving on the boats. Is
That's my story, though.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
I was just looking at the time and thinking that we should march along, and that means that I get to go
No,
next.
that's my whole story. I have nothing else to say to you.
Oh, all right. I mean, I don't know why you had to make it sound so final. Obviously,
Bye.
Oh, okay, bye.
See ya, as they
Snuggle
do
up,
in
everybody,
Sunhaven.
because today we're talking about your dad's favorite subject. That's right. I have a World War II story. Who would have guessed?
Who
It's incredible.
would've
How are you
guessed?
finding all of them?
Dude, I don't know. They just find me, honestly. Surprisingly,
Sometimes I'll look up World War II and I'll be like, none of these are good. And then you're just like, anyway, so I have another World War II story. And I'm like, fuck.
yeah. This story, unlike all our other stories involving World War II, where the Germans are the bad guys and the Americans are the good guys, and everyone else is also the bad guys except for the guys that are good, Today involves the German. Did anyone track that sentence?
I did track it mostly.
I got it. I just like the concept that everyone else in the world was also a bad guy, and it was just America.
Except for the good guys that were working with us.
Mm-hmm. Who some later became the bad guys during the Cold War.
They did also become bad guys later. And the cycle repeats.
The Cold War was tough.
So this story today involves the Germans and Americans working together.
Wow.
Which had not been done since the first story I told, where the Germans were the bad guys, where the Americans and the Germans were playing soccer. So in 1943, the Nazis... Oh, it's really funny because I wrote these notes at work, and my Z key sticks sometimes. God knows why, because I never fucking use it, except to type the word Nazi.
Okay. You should probably keep that one a secret, because in unrelated conversation, it's just like, I do type the word Nazi a lot.
I do type the word Nazi quite a bit. Anyways, it says the Nias in my notes because the Z did not work. Anyways, in 1943, the Nazis had converted Itter Castle into a prison. Itter Castle is a castle that existed in the Austrian Alps. And during World War II, it was used to house prisoners that were VIPs, very important prisoners. So these were people like political prisoners and all this other stuff that could be...
The children of minor nobility.
The children of minor nobility. That could be used as bargaining chips. So, as the war was coming to the end, the guards who were in charge of the prison decided that they were going to leave.
Okay.
But they decided that they were going to leave the prisoners where they were.
Just in prison with no guards?
Well, so essentially what they did is they either left the prisoners in cells, and then, like, the prisoners themselves were just defenseless on a mountain, like in a castle on the mountain.
That's shitty.
I mean, it's not a great situation. The surrounding area was also like a wooded area that had a lot of SS patrols and things like that. So even if these prisoners wanted to leave en masse, it would have ended with them getting shot to death by the SS.
Yeah.
So anyways, the French are left. These French prisoners are left because the majority of them were French on the mountain, defenseless. However, two of them were voted, or however it ended up happening. Prisoners left on bicycles in order to go find some help, and after a brief search.
Are you telling me they mountain biked down this mountain?
They did mountain bike down. This is where BMX started, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Like, have you ever seen those videos of extreme trail riding where people are, like, doing jumps and all this shit on trail? Yeah, this started here.
Are you shitty? Are you, like, fucking with me, or are you...
No, I'm fucking with you, but I'm also being 100% accurate.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also right.
But I'm also lying through my teeth. So they end up finding a gentleman by the name of Josef. His last name is Gangl, which I can only assume is pronounced Gangl, because
Josef Gangl.
Josef Gangl. Now.
Josef.
Huh?
Josef.
The thing that needs to be known about Josef is that Josef was a major for the German army, but over the course of the war ended up disagreeing with the Nazis' stance and everything that they were kind of about. And at the time of these two French mountain bikers finding him, he was working with the Austrian resistance.
Hell yeah.
I do want it to be known for all of our listeners and for, any future listeners, I'm all for people having self-realizations. I just think in the event of Nazism, having that realization way sooner probably would have been
pretty fucking cool.
Good. Would have been way cooler.
Now, see, here's my thing.
Sure.
Part of me goes, I agree with you. I'm very glad when people have a change of heart and see that there are better options. And then there's the other part of my brain that is occupied by one Lieutenant Aldo Rain who says, now you're going to take that uniform off when you leave. And
yeah. We can't have that.
We can't have that. See, we like to know our Nazis.
Yeah. Not necessary in this case, and we'll get to that in a minute. But, so these French prisoners find Yosef. He realizes that he can't defend these prisoners with just the handful of men that he has. I think when I was doing my research, he had like 20 men that were loyal to him and had kind of come to the same realization that they did not want to be a part of the German war machine anymore. The Wehrmacht, as it's called.
The Wehrmacht?
So he goes in search of some assistance as well. And he does this by grabbing the biggest, whitest flag he can find and just waving it as he, approaches American groups. And he ends up finding the 23rd Tank Battalion, which is led by Captain Jack Lee.
Jack Lee. That name sounds vaguely familiar.
Jack Lee agrees to help in this particular event. Lee and his men park their Sherman tank at the entrance to Itter Castle. And on the 5th of May, in the year of our Lord, 1945, the SS decide to launch an attack. The tank ends up getting blown up.
Classic.
But because of where it was positioned, the SS are not able to successfully storm the castle.
Okay.
And so it holds until the end of this skirmish. And about 100 SS members were taken prisoner.
Okay.
And throughout the whole affair, there was only one casualty.
Okay.
Josef Gangle himself was shot by a sniper and perished from his wounds. He was buried in a nearby town, and in my research I found out that there's actually a street named after him, which I guess is the highest honor that, most American athletes can have. I'm in sort of the camp that Zach was just in. I'm of the opinion that the only good Nazi is a dead Nazi.
Uh-huh.
But Josef Gangle was at least trying to turn his shit around. Now, it's important to note, guys, that, many German soldiers might not have identified themselves as members of the Nazi Party, but the way that I've always kind of thought about it is that old adage where it's like if you've got 10 people sitting at a table and a Nazi goes and sits with them and the people don't immediately tell him to fuck off, you have a table of 11 Nazis.
Yeah.
So most people probably wouldn't agree with me necessarily calling him a Nazi if he was just a member of the German army.
No, that is...
but he's a Nazi.
Yes.
Bet you did not see that coming.
Oh my god.
And frankly, we should continue with this story.
Stop! No! That's a strike.
That's two strikes.
That's a strike.
In the past, those have both been strikes, but they're worth it every time. So at least he was trying to turn his shit around. Unfortunately, he was the only casualty. More Nazis should have died, I think, but also getting taken prisoner and being held accountable for their actions is also important. There was a book written about this subject, and I thought this quote was really interesting from the book. I can't remember the name of the book to save my life. I should have done better research. Fuck off.
No one's saying anything, man.
The audience will. Not our Patreon subscribers, but like the wider audience
regular
will be
audience.
like, he should have.
The regular plebeian audience.
So, anyways, the gentleman who wrote this book said, if the SS had managed to get into the castle and kill the French VIPs, the history of post-war France would have been radically different. These people formulated the policies that carried France into the 21st century. Had they died, who knows what would have happened. So that's kind of a cool little story about World War II and how Germans and Americans teamed up to save the French, which turned out to be a mistake.
I just like don't.
Because now we
I don't
have
understand
modern day
how you're finding
France, you know?
these.
I guess so.
I don't know. Modern day France is doing some crazy things.
I mean,
Yeah.
but it still smells like piss.
Justin
Yeah,
Perry.
but like they did just put the right to abortion into their constitution, didn't they?
And they are also not afraid to bust out the guillotine when they need to.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to bust out the guillotine, and also when the farmers get mad, they just like pour shit onto political buildings.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, I guess.
So
You know?
I don't know. I think like we might have to give it to them sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah,
Sometimes.
no, I mean, we have had
Sometimes.
our moments where we say maybe the French aren't so bad, but then we also have to wash our mouths out with soap.
Yes. Like you said, a swear word. It's a bad word.
It's a bad thing to say.
Bad thing to say. Sometimes
Bad.
it's right, but it's a bad thing to say.
Just because it's right doesn't mean we have to say it. Anyways, that's my story about Josef Engel or Gangel.
That dude
Joseph?
named Joseph. Joseph? Okay.
Anyways, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said, you know, every so often I'll just type into Google and I'll be like weird stories from history and I'll just browse. And then like something from World War II just stands out to me.
Yeah, and you love it. It's
Someday I'm just, I love it. I love the stories.
Duh.
Someday
I
I'm
love
just
the
going to tell a
stories.
story about like a dog that peed on a fire hydrant even though those weren't a thing.
You'll find weird and more
World
esoteric
War-
stories for us later in World War II. I am sure of it.
I can only hope.
We can all only hope. Now, Matt,
Yeah.
is it my turn?
It is.
Can I
It
I
is.
sup at the historical teat now?
I don't know that you have to say it like that.
You're right.
We just made the energy really, really
I
weird.
did, but I did that on purpose because I don't know.
Because now I can only picture.
I don't
want to
know
find the
what's
part of the
happening.
side where I have to put in the theme song, so I sang the theme song myself. Because you know what that means tonight, folks.
No, I don't. I'm
That's-
confused.
that's-
I
shit.
don't know what this means.
He's telling a story about a gentleman crimesman?
That's the theme song usually for a gentleman's crimesman's.
Gentlemen's
Oh, okay.
crimesmans.
A heinous gentleman of
A
history, if
gentleman's
you will.
crimesmans.
But I'm gonna swerve on you. I'm gonna
Oh,
pivot
shit. God.
because it's not
Twists
a
and
gentleman.
turns already.
Not a gentleman crimesman. It is a.
Is it a gentleman crimes woman?
It's a heinous lady, baby.
Woo!
Yeah, we love the heinous ladies.
Love a good heinous
Stan, a
lady.
heinous crimes lady.
So, in February of 1848, one Mira Maybelle Shirley Reed Starr is born.
Too many names.
Too many
Okay,
names.
it's just enough names. It's on the
It's-
cusp of being too many names.
Say it again.
Mira Mabel Shirley Reed Starr.
No, too many.
No, it's too many.
That's too many.
So, no, okay. For a traditional 3-name English, what we're used to, but, like, I feel like 5 is just on the cusp of too many. 6, it's too many. But, like, maybe I'm also saying this because Mira Mabel just kind of, like, rolls off. It sounds like there should be a hyphen
it's like
in there.
A hyphenated.
Yeah. But
I'll
anyway,
give it to you.
it doesn't matter her full name because she's later known as the infamous Belle Star.
Nice. What a porn star name.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
Honestly, that's so much better. It is a porn star name, but I can respect the hustle.
I can respect the hustle on that name. It's a whole lot shorter, and it is a whole lot sexier. Now, some fun family background.
I wish I had a sexy nickname.
Me too.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
total
Meghan, the
that's what I'm
abyssal
saying.
princess.
Total side note, but have you
That's
guys
true.
ever, like, seen the thing where it's like, what would your porn star name be? And it's, like, the name of your first pet and then the street you grew up on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine
What's
is
your porn
fucking...
star
What's
name,
yours?
Zach?
It's Blue Atwood.
Hell yeah.
That's a good porn
Okay,
star
that's like-
name.
All right, what's yours, Matt?
Sorry, remind me of the parameters. Street I lived on and...
No, the name of your first pet and then the street that you lived on growing up.
Oh. Fuck, my name's actually pretty good too. I think it's Mia Seminole.
Nice.
That's not bad. Yeah, mine is Butch Sawmill.
Yeah,
Yours
man.
is really good. For like an
that's-
Alabama porn star.
So I was gonna say, that's a porn star that still rocks the classic porn star mustache, and I'm about it.
I
And a mullet.
know.
Butch Sawmill fucks.
His cousin.
Butch Sawmill. Yeah, Butch Sawmill's like aggressive.
It is aggressive. Also, I'm naming this episode Butch Sawmill fucks.
Butch Sawmill does fuck. Like, so I've played this. I've done this like a few times, and some of, like, I had a friend in high school who had a really good one. Theirs was Sugar Savoy.
Nice.
That's a great one.
That was
That's
really good.
pretty
but-
good.
Yeah, Sugar Savoy is really good. But every time I come out with mine, Butch Sawmill, everyone's like,
That wins.
yeah, no, Butch Sawmill fucks.
Butch Sawmill fucks, for sure.
Not gently either.
No, it is. It is.
Butch Sawmill
It is
has
skilled.
one gear.
And it's go.
Yeah, but like it's go, but it gets the job done.
It does. It does.
Anyways,
Anywhoosie. So for some family background for Belle Star, the porn star, not porn star. Despite being a successful and well-off farmer, Belle's dad was not very admired by his greater well-to-do Virginian family. So Belle...
Well, fuck them. They can eat shit and
They
die.
can eat shit and die. So he moves the family to Indiana, where before Belle is born, he gets married and divorced twice. But I guess third time's the
Oh,
charm.
congratulations.
He
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov for the third time.
who was the president at his third wedding?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Who was the president? Was it me?
It must have been you.
had to have
You're the
been you.
president of every wedding, Megan.
Honestly, I had people asking if I was a professional president.
I love that for you. So
Did you
Maybe
say
I should
yes?
make a go of it.
her dad gets
What if I did I say yes if I was a professional president?
Yeah.
No, I don't lie.
Oh, okay.
all
Sorry.
right. Well, next time you should, because it sounds pretty great, and put it on your resume
Okay.
while you're at it.
All right, will do.
I'll hire you, and that way you're technically a professional. So
Thank you.
he gets divorced twice, and eventually third time's the charm. He marries Eliza Hatfield Shirley, who would
Holy shit!
later,
What a name.
yeah, Eliza is Belle's mom, and Eliza is also a distant relative to those Hatfields. Yes,
The
those
Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah. So Belle had a little bit of crazy in her from the beginning.
That's cool.
Belle gets a classical education and apparently becomes quite the piano player. Which, by the way, I realized what a classical education actually means. It's not like a way to say like an old-timey education. It's actually a form of teaching that enforces understanding rather than like rote memorization.
Oh, I thought it was you learn certain things like Latin and Greek.
Yeah, you do.
And like, but it's not just that.
It's not just that. It does. A lot of it is based off of like learning Latin and Greek and like enforcing language, but like it is more of like learning how to master things over time rather than just being like, well, we're gonna like learn to memorize shit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything weird attached to that. I just got a brief glimpse of it, so if it does have some weirdness that I don't know about, I apologize. Anyway.
I feel like everything nowadays has a little bit of weirdness.
Everything I say has an asterisk against it. Don't come at me, Larry. I'm just an idiot with a microphone. I'm a dumb straight white man with a microphone. Only listen to me a little bit. So, the problem with Belle's family is, for much worse, both morally and for general well-being, Belle's family decides to side with the Confederacy during the Civil War, and this winds up getting her brother killed, because fuck the Confederacy. And
damn.
So after the brother dies, the family moves to Texas, because that makes a whole lot of fucking sense.
Does it?
On so many levels.
Does it make a lot of sense?
What?
Does it make sense?
Have you been to Texas?
I've been to
I
Texas.
think they love the Confederacy down there.
I think they love themselves down there.
That's true. Texas loves Texas and Texas only. You're right.
Yeah, like, they don't want to be part of anything. They want to be part of themselves.
They want to be Texas.
They just want to be Texas. Just Texas
They want to be
Texas.
Texas. Like,
that's fair. But
Texas touching Texas, you know? That's their motto.
Jeez.
Texas touching Texas.
So, Belle marries...
Two Texases touching across time.
Uh...
That was an Inuyasha reference. Anyway.
Belle marries in 1866 and gives birth to a child 2 years later. And there is some debate on who the daddy of the child is, but that's not really important. And it's during this time that Belle has this child that she begins to turn to a life of crime. You see, the brother that died apparently rode with Quantrill's raiders, who were the famous bushwhackers for the Confederacy during the war, and whose members included one Jesse James and his brothers. So you can see how that all turns into crime real quick. And on a path of vengeance for her brother and already hanging out with the James boys, Belle starts to steal in like no one's business with the James Younger gang. And now the thing about
Good for her.
Belle, the thing about Belle Starr is Belle Starr had style. She was notorious for being a hell of a shot and only riding side saddle, which if you ride a horse, you know that's not easy. And
what a hero.
Also is like the proper ladylike way to ride. And so she rides side saddle in a black velvet riding dress and a giant plumed hat.
My God, I'm gay.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Just like Billie Eilish.
That's fucking hilarious. The thing is, Matt, you'll actually think this is very interesting, probably having run into this. Fun fact, there is a side quest in the game Red Dead Redemption 2 where you are collecting photographs from a bunch of world-famous gunslingers. And you run into a character named Black Belle, who is heavily influenced in look and personality by Belle Starr.
Oh, that's cool.
So, Matt, do you know which one I'm talking about? Which
It's been so long since I've played.
I'm gonna drop a picture in the Discord because you're gonna go, oh my gosh, and then be like, that's kind of what her whole deal was, and like, yes, that is exactly what her whole deal was.
Looking at the Discord right now.
All right, here it comes.
Drop it. Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so the whole mission that you do with her is just killing a bunch of Pinkertons, and she's fucking badass. It's great. But yeah, she was based off of Belle Starr. So
Nice.
So Belle keeps stealing and thieving across all of Texas and with a bunch of different gangs because a girl's got to eat after all. And her husband tries to settle down and do some farming, but he gets pretty sick of that. So the two of them join up with the Starr clan, who were a group of notorious Cherokee family that like cattle rustled and basically had a criminal empire. And
could you imagine your wife being an outlaw and you just being like, guess I'll farm?
Well, so they both were outlaws.
Guess I'll farm.
They both rode with the Jesse James gang.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, having been in that life, right? Your wife then continues to do outlawing things, and you're just like, I guess I'll start a farm.
I get that. But I think it was like basically like he was trying to find stability so that she could stop doing this stuff.
Oh, he was trying to go straight.
He was trying to go straight and get settled so that they could both go straight, but that didn't work out because he got bored. And in 1874, a warrant is issued for both of their arrests, which does lead to her husband's death. Womp womp. But that's okay because she gets hitched to another fella. Like, don't worry.
Yeah, dude. Like that husbands don't matter. All right. What matters is like Ball is life.
Ball is life.
And Ball is stealing.
Yeah, Ball is stealing. Stealing the Ball is life. And I did say that she was running with the Starr gang, and she ends up getting married to Sam Starr, one of the members of the Starr family. And it leads her deeper into the Starr gang, where she kind of learns how to run a whole-ass criminal organization. She gets very, very good at it, to the point where she's able to basically, like, have enough money to be bribing officials to get people out of prison constantly, so her gang never has to worry about doing time. And Belle and her beau, Sam, get arrested in 1882, where she's released after 9 months, which isn't too long, although her husband stays in jail for quite some time because he's apparently a mean son of a bitch that doesn't like to be in jail.
But who does?
Well, sucks
But
to
who
suck.
does? Yeah, absolutely. And after he gets out, Sam Starr is involved in a gunfight with his cousin, who's a law officer named Frank West, and both of them are killed. And this prompts Belle to just be like, well, Sam was really the only man I ever loved, and he's dead now, so I'm no longer going to rob anyone. I'm done.
I've decided I'm no longer going to be a criminal.
Yeah. But, so she spends the rest of her life kind of just chilling. There was a lot of rumors that she had a series of men that she was fucking on the side after her husband died for a little bit of company, including Jack Spaniard, Jim French, and Blue Duck.
Yeah, those are all very real people.
She did...
Those are very...
She does end up marrying another guy named Jim July, who was 15 years younger than her, so good for her.
These are not real people.
They are real people, you know?
They're
You
not,
just said
though.
the word, she got married to a man named Jim July.
So Blue
Which
Duck
sounds
was
a little
blue
bit
for
too much
duck.
like Chim Chimney.
Anyway.
Jim July.
June, July. So she's just kind of hanging out doing her thing, and sadly, 2 days before her 41st birthday in February of 1889, she is killed. She was riding home from a neighbor's house and was ambushed, and she was shot off her horse and then shot when she was on the ground to make sure she was dead, because you fucking make sure Belle Starr's dead. She will come and kill you later if you don't. And her death, autopsy back then could even fucking tell she was killed by a shotgun wound to the back and the neck and the shoulder and the face. So, yeah, she was dead.
Shotguns aren't known for their precision.
Well, so it basically looked like she got shot in the back and the neck, and then someone came in and, like, pumped 2 rounds in her face.
Neck. My back. We can stop there.
Now, it's unsolved as to who shot her, and there's also, like, different stories that go along with it. According to Frank Pistol Pete Eaton,
that's not a guy either.
Yes, it is. Don't you love that Pistol Pete is a real fucking person there, Matt?
I'm annoyed about it.
Why?
Well, just because I feel like it's something that simple shouldn't be a thing.
Well, sorry. The
Imagine
Old West
being
had
the first
wild
cowboy
names.
to, like... Imagine being any cowboy named Pete, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm really good with a pistol. They should call me Pistol Pete. And it's like, no, an outlaw took that name like 10 years ago. You're going to have to try again.
Try again. Yeah, so Pistol Pete said that Belle had actually been at a dance where her and some guy were getting drunk, and Belle Starr declined an invitation to go dance with this guy. So when she left, he followed her and killed her. The guy that she followed, her, Edgar Watson, was tried, convicted, and executed by hanging for murder. But there's other stories that kind of decline that, or like give different appearances. Either way, it's been technically unsolved, even though they hung a guy for it. But, you know, I guess that's the Old West for you. But yeah, that is Belle Starr, who was the outlaw queen of Texas, as she was called.
We love that.
And yeah, she just had basically she got caught on technicalities. Like, Al Capone goes to jail for tax evasion.
What, the technicality of a shotgun to the face?
No. So, she served time in 1874, as I said, for stagecoach robbery, but there was no evidence against her actually robbing the stagecoach because she was very good at what she did. And so they basically were just like, yeah, this guy said he saw you, and that was not true. They basically had to make up a bunch of evidence to get her in jail, and then she was such a good inmate that they let her out after 9 months, and she went back to stealing shit. So, good for her.
Good for her.
But yeah, that is the story of Belle Starr.
No, it was good. I like her name a lot.
She does have a great name.
And
great name.
And I like the image of her in a crushed black velvet outfit, riding side saddle, and with an eagle eye shot.
Yeah, she was a really good shot, and she literally was like, I'm a lady, and I'm gonna dress like a lady, and I'm gonna make you wish you were not on this stagecoach route, because I'm just gonna rob the shit out of you, but I'm gonna look damn good doing it. It reminds me almost of that other guy that I talked about who would rob people and then buy a new suit before he robbed people, because it was I have to look my best for a robbery. You know?
Yeah. I just feel like criminals now don't commit to the bit.
They commit
crimes.
crimes.
But they don't commit to the bit.
They commit crimes, but I I don't know if you guys ever watch Code Geass, but I'm looking for someone like Lelouch, and he's constantly dressed up and he's just like committing crimes out in the open.
Sure, man. Half of what you just said did not make any fucking sense to me.
That's okay. The weebs will get it.
Okay.
Don't worry. They'll understand. But that was good.
Yeah, that's that.
It's a good story.
Do you want to...
Wrap it up?
Yeah, you want to, you want to call it?
I'm ready to call it. I'm ready. I'm good. I'm tired.
You got to do the parts
We've
of the
only
thing.
been-
We got to, hey.
I know. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, baby. I got you.
All right.
So,
Again, the energy has shifted in a way that I am not sure
relax,
I was ready
baby.
Hey, folks. How you doing?
for. Oh, Jesus. All right.
I'm coming
Oh,
in
God.
soft and
All
smooth
right.
and sultry for you right at the end of the episode. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. We really enjoy doing it for you. We're here to please. If you like what we
Need
do,
a new
you
pair
can...
of pants. Can we fly in a new pair of pants for me? Thanks. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that.
If you like what we do, and you've made it this far, we assume you do like it. At least we hope. You can really help us out by telling a friend that you also think might enjoy this. Or you can follow us on our socials. You can find us on Facebook by looking up the Triumvirate Productions. You can find us on Instagram at _Triumvirate_Productions. Or if you're feeling especially jazzy, you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/Triumvirate Productions, where you can help support us by joining the 1, 2, or 3 strike tier, each one having its own very special benefits, including early episodes that are unedited and our After Dark extra show, as well as access to our Discord channel, where we all get to hang out and talk and give music suggestions and the like. And if that doesn't sound appealing, just leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps bump us up the charts, so you don't even need to tell a friend about us. The algorithm will do it for you. But that's it. Thank you very much for listening, folks. We appreciate you coming by.
What the fuck, history?